Hello and welcome to another video, and today we are doing something a little bit different. Today I want to introduce you to a game that is somewhat flight sim related, but we are not talking about X-Plane, or we are not talking about Microsoft Flight Simulator. Today I'm going to introduce you to Frontier Pilot Simulator. So I've actually been invited to play this game. I think a couple of years ago, maybe back in 2018. So I was given access to this sort of like alpha version of the game by the developers, and they wanted me to make a review, or not a review, maybe like, you know, introduction to the video or to the game actually. And at that time there wasn't a lot of things going on, and since then they have made some improvements, and I would like to give you a bit of a tour of what has been going on with this game. And there are quite a few changes since the very first release of the alpha version. Obviously it is still in alpha version. They are actually still doing quite a bit of work on this game. So today we are going to just take a look at what is going on inside this game, and yeah, let's take a look. So we obviously, starting off, I want to tell you a little bit more about this game. So Frontier Pilot Simulator team, when they approached me, they obviously have seen my flight sim videos, and what they've been telling me is that the flight characteristics, so like the aerodynamics, the drag, all those things, you know, they are quite, in their words, realist. Oops, sorry, that was my door. So they wanted it to be like realistic, so like how an actual aircraft would react. But obviously I do not really know how it actually reacts, because this is not based on planet Earth. This is based on an alien planet. I'm not very sure what planet that would be, but it's not Earth. So obviously you have different gravity, you have different air masses, all those things which would make flying quite different to what you are used to when you're flying on an Earth surface. But I think they are trying to create it a little bit more Earth-based flight characteristics. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, but yeah, it's not like you are actually flying on a alien planet. So when it comes to like realistic flight characteristics, we have, you know, obviously we have the thrust, drag, we have like the weight and balance, we have, you know, fuel, all those things. But the aircraft that are being deployed actually is electrical, so it is battery charge. So every time when you are going to fly, you actually have to charge up the battery, and the battery basically determines how far you can actually fly. And when you start the game, you actually are being put on a small aircraft, and you are based on a small island, and there are quite a few different bases in the island that you can fly to. With that small battery and that small aircraft, you can fly to any of those bases. Once you have been trading, which is the main sort of money making scheme on this simulator, you can earn enough money, buy a bigger aircraft, and that aircraft will actually get you to the mainland, which is where all the other bases are going to be. It's actually a lot bigger, and you can trade a lot more money when you're trading between longer distances. So you can actually go to the map, and you can find out what is required from those bases, and you can find where you can get those products, and you can basically fly between those areas or those bases, and you can earn quite a bit of money depending on what products you get. So that is basically what this simulator mainly is about. It's basically trading. You can also fly passengers. They are mainly staff, so it's like engineers and scientists. Those are the people that they need to, like, get from, say, base A to base B, and they'll pay you when you fly them, but some of it or most of it would have a time limit, so that gives you an extra challenge, which is quite fun. But again, I've crashed a lot of times because I misjudged the flight characteristics. So yeah, it's every time. Oh, and also every time you crash, you basically get ejected, and you are going to be flown into a base, and the insurance will actually deduct money from your bank account, and you get your brand new ship with with everything you have owned, all the upgrades and everything from your previous ship, which is kind of cool. But yeah, I mean, you wouldn't want to crash, would you? Apart from that, we have been having regular improvements with the game. The team have been working quite hard over the past few years trying to implement new bases and new sort of bits and pieces. So on the website, you may see that they actually are showing something quite different to what you're actually getting from the sim. Like I said before, it's an alpha version, so there are quite a few things that are actually not implemented yet. One of those things are like AI traffic. there are actually some traffic that I've seen in the I think in the last couple of updates, but they are not very, they don't fly very far. I believe I saw one on one of the base, and that's about it. So I think that is something that they are trying to implement as well, but I'm not exactly sure if they're going to be landing or doing any of the like trading stuff as well. I'm not very sure about multiplayers. I do not believe that is going to be a thing. But they're also trying to implement like alien life. You might get like alien plants in the sky, in the water, on land. I have seen a few lying around, but they're not very extensive. But I believe that is something that they are working on, and they may be introducing a bit more. And obviously that is what they have been showing on their website, and I am expecting that there will be a lot more of those things going on. And yeah, apart from that, we have this game is, like I say, is quite mission oriented. You get the trade, or you can get passengers from point A to point B. That's how you earn your money. But apart from that, there isn't really much to do. So that's the only thing you can do on the sim, which once you have played a few hours, it does get a little bit boring. Once you have explored like all the bases, there actually isn't that much going on, and the upgrades, they are also quite limited to the individual aircraft. So some parts are only available for some aircraft, obviously, but once you have like upgraded everything, like there isn't really much after that. So I'm hoping that they might add a little bit more things to it just to make it a bit more interesting. But yeah, there just isn't a lot going on once you have gone to like the maximum stage where you can, like, you know, trade like the most expensive items and you know, all those things. Once you have upgraded, once you have earned enough money, there isn't like any way for you to be like spending money anymore, and there isn't really a point to be earning that much money because you have nowhere to like spend them. So yeah, I'm hoping that is something that they are going to be looking into, maybe make it a bit more interesting. And obviously, like for me, I do enjoy playing the game once in a while. Every, say, couple of months, like I would jump back into the game and see what is happening. I would like go on a flight. But yeah, I mean, there isn't really like a lot of things going on. It does get quite boring after a few hours. So that is something the team might want to look into, because if they want people to be engaged, to be, you know, spending more time on the game, they need to make it a little bit more interesting. So yeah, that is my only suggestions, because yeah, I mean, I've been playing for maybe about 100 hours, and yeah, it just gets quite boring every time after I play for a couple of hours. But apart from that, talking about the ship, we actually can also do some customizations. You can change like colors, you can add skins. I believe during Halloween they actually make you go trade some specific products, and once you have traded enough, you actually get like an exclusive skin for the aircraft, which is very cool. But those are only for like special occasions. But on a normal occasion, you can also get some skins. You can change the colors, all those things, which are nice. You can, you know, make it whatever color you like, if you don't like the default one, obviously. And I've talked about upgrades. You can make it a bit more powerful, you can make it a bit more stringent, and you have to be careful with the upgrades because some upgrades are good, some upgrades are not that good, so you have to just play with it. There are some like weight and balance issues, so if you put too much upgrades that are quite heavy and the engines are not powerful enough, then obviously you cannot carry as many payloads because your aircraft wouldn't be able to fly. So those are some of, I guess, the realistic flight characteristics that they are talking about, and yeah, that is something to be mindful of. Now I want to talk about the cons of this game. I mean, this game has been out here for maybe 2-3 years now, and I've been saying that they've been working on it, but I have still been getting quite a bit of bugs with the sim. As you can see from my video, you can see that there are some bugs going on. So when I'm on the map, I'm trying to see where I can trade, but it just doesn't allow me to like navigate, which is quite annoying. I have been contacting the team. I've sent them the video, but yeah, I haven't really heard much from them about that particular issue. They were talking about my keyboard being the problem, or the controls. They are saying that it might be a hotkey, and I know that my keyboard have been playing up very recently, but not when I was recording this video. But anyway, I've been playing around with my keyboard, smashing it, and nothing changes. But with my new keyboard, I will definitely give it another try. Hopefully it's just my keyboard, but I mean, I've been like trying quite a few different methods, trying to see if there is a stuck hotkey that is causing the issue, but as far as I can tell, that is not the issue. So I will just keep testing and see how that goes. Apart from the map, we also have problem with the trim. On the earlier versions, there wasn't much of an issue with the trim. So once you have reached your cruising altitude and you can turn on the auto trim, what happened is that the aircraft actually trim itself to be level. I mean, it's probably not going to be like exactly where you want it to be. You still have to move the control every couple of seconds just to keep it level. But on the stable version, what I found on the latest update anyway, is that the trim is way off. So you have to like put a certain amount of pressure on. I'm actually using my Thrustmaster, which is a joystick. So I have to put a certain amount of pressure just to keep it at that what is it called? Like to make it level, because of the trim not being aligned or stable, I suppose. I'm not sure what the right word is, but yeah, it is out of trim. So what happens is that the aircraft will actually like go nose up or nose down, so you can't actually keep it level. So the only way is to like to use the controls to make it level. And for a long like cruise journey, it's going to be very tiring, and obviously that's not how an aircraft works. And obviously this is not an issue before. I've also told them about it. I wasn't being told anything about that issue, but hopefully they are aware and they are going to fix it. But I've been trying the beta version or the developer version, and that seems to be working fine. So it's probably just a little bit of a code issue that they have to fix. But yeah, I mean, that is not a major issue at all. They are probably going to fix it at some point. And I've talked about the map being quite small, so you don't really get a lot of bases. I think on the whole map you get probably more than a dozen bases, and there are some bases that you can trade, but there are some bases that you cannot trade. So some of them are like for passenger transfer, some of them you can like, trade products and do passenger transfer, and some bases you can only do like trading. So there are quite a different variety of bases, but yeah, like I said, there isn't a lot of bases that you can fly to. There are probably like 15 bases, and once you have flown to all of them, there isn't anywhere else you can go. So hopefully they may want to like look into expanding the map, introducing a bit of maybe a different island, allow people to like explore a new area, that sort of thing. Hopefully that is something that they may want to look at, or they may be even working on. I'm not sure, but yeah, that's what I'm hoping. And the next thing is limited aircraft choices. So there isn't a lot of aircraft that you can fly. Like I said, the first one that you start off with is the very small one. So you start off from there, and then you upgrade to the second, so like a middle version of the aircraft, which has a longer range. You can carry a bit more goods, and then once you have earned even more money, then you can upgrade to the large version, which has a lot more power. You can carry more goods, heavier goods. But yeah, once you have upgraded to that third one, the biggest one, there isn't really anything else you can upgrade to. In terms of aircraft, you can upgrade the engines, the wheels, the wings, all those things, but those are quite limited as well. So you don't really get a lot of options in terms of aircraft or upgrades for that matter. So hopefully they might want to work on a few new aircraft, so that people can buy a few other aircraft and fly different types of aircraft on the map, and that might make it a little bit more fun. And the last thing is there is no cockpit view, at least not that I am aware of. Even if there is, it's not going to be a live cockpit sort of thing. You can't manipulate any controls or anything like that. So most of the things are automated. Like the landing gear, all those things, they actually retract and extend automatically. On the left panel, you might be able to see just above the battery level. You can actually manually manipulate the landing gear and the wing and all those things. But yeah, I mean, in terms of how you can extend the gear and stuff, it's usually automated. That's how I leave it anyway. I mean, you can probably disable that, but it would be a lot easier if it does that automatically. But I mean, if you have a live cockpit, that would be quite fun or quite different. But I'm not sure if they will be working on that, and obviously it's going to be a lot more different and a lot more probably difficult to fly, because you can't really see the full picture, and you have limited view inside the cockpit. That adds a little bit of a challenge for people like myself and aviation lover, and you like flying. That would be a challenge that you would be enjoying. But apart from that, I think I have talked about most of the things that I can talk about on this sim. This is Frontier Pilot Simulator. It's not sponsored, by the way. I mean, it's an alright game. It is still in development, so a lot of things could change. But yeah, I definitely hope that the developers are going to make a few changes, make it a bit more interesting, make it a bit more engaging, and have a lot more things going on. But at this stage, I would recommend that you check it out. It's available on Steam, and you can go and buy it. I'll put the link on the description below as well. I would say that it's definitely worth checking out. It's a pretty cool game. I wouldn't recommend using a Xbox joystick. I would recommend that if you have like a yoke system, so like a joystick system, like for flying, flight simulator and stuff. Those would probably be the best ones that you can, or that would be the easiest way to fly. But obviously you can use your keyboard and mouse and your Xbox joystick if you want. But yeah, I would definitely recommend that you use like a actual joystick. That will make the experience a little bit better and easier as well. Yeah, apart from that, I think that's all I have to say about this sim. Yeah, if you are interested in it, yeah, go check it out. Apart from that, I'll see you all on the next video.